Adrian N. Bridefelder, City Clerk. You are hereby directed to call a special session of the City Council to be held on Monday, March 16th, 2026, at 6 p.m. in the historic Federal Building for the purpose of conducting a work session on Dubuque Main Street.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to a special session of the Dubuque City Council for March 16th, 2026. As a reminder to viewers and listeners, due to the nature of tonight's meeting topic, public input is not accepted. However, you may contact the City Council directly from the city's webpage at www.cityofdubuque.org/council-contacts. Attendance for the session is as follows. Mayor Pro Tem Resnick.
Here.
Mayor Kavanaugh.
Here.
Thank you. Council members Leyendecker.
Here.
Roussel.
Here.
Sprank.
Here.
Staver.
Here.
Wethel.
Here.
City Manager Van Milligan.
Here.
And City Attorney Brumwell.
Here.
Thank you. Our work session topic is Dubuque Main Street. I will turn it over to their Executive Director, David Barba.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having us, City Council, Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Mayor, and all city staff. My name is David Barba. The privilege of serving as the Executive Director of Dubuque Main Street. Dubuque Main Street is a 501c3 nonprofit that is dedicated to the economic and cultural development of downtown Dubuque. We are made up of a small but mighty core of staff of two full-time positions, a handful of seasonal workers, and a volunteer board of directors who serve in an advisory role. Our organization is supported by a $96,211 purchase of services agreement paid to Dubuque Main Street in quarterly installments to lead organizing the Dubuque Farmers Market and activation of the Town Clock Plaza. I want you to just keep that number in mind as I lead you through the impact that our programming and services has on our community. Most people likely know Dubuque Main Street from our events. It's how we activate our downtown district. It's how we facilitate economic development as well as cultural development and improve the experience that comes along with building a life, a family, and a career in our community. Tonight I want to bring you through some of the work that we've been able to do to accomplish with each of these programs, where they're headed, and how we can continue to improve them. And we'll start with the farmers market. The Dubuque Farmers Market is our flagship program. It's our biggest thing that we do. We see an average of 2,000 to 4,000 people there every week, 26 weeks a year, from May through October. And in this year, we're actually have 27 weeks. Every Saturday from May through October. While you may not see this at the surface, the Dubuque Farmers Market actually welcomes a national audience to our downtown every year. 2025, we recorded 375 unique zip codes through our token transaction system, and that is people from Hawaii to Alaska to Connecticut, all coming to Dubuque and to our farmers market. The farmers market, it's not just for fun, it's for serious business as well. We processed over $117,000 in token transactions in 2025, which is the best number that we have recorded, wherein our average is around 103,000. In 2025, we welcomed 120 vendors to our downtown, and we brought in 42 new tables, benches, high tops to increase the amenities and seating throughout the market. As operators, we take the continued development of this program very seriously. Most notably, in 2025, we added those new tables, benches, high tops to improve the customer experience and hospitality of our event. This was thanks to a $30,000 DRA core grant. And with that, we bought the new seating, but also the storage and transportation equipment to be able to deploy those efficiently every weekend. And the public loved it. So now you can not only bring your family to downtown to get some great breakfast, but you can now also take a seat and stay a while. But our market could never reach these heights without the continued recruitment of our vendors. We had 120 hosted in 2025, as I had mentioned, and we're currently sitting at 93 applicants so far for 2026. In 2025, we had the highest recorded token transactions at $117,000, but average about 103,000 since 2021. These are dollars that we process at our token booth that go directly to farmers market vendors, farmers, small business owners, and the people who bring our market to life. But that's still not enough. In 2025, we took small but meaningful steps forward, ensuring that each week of the farmers market has something special to keep folks coming back for a second, a third, or a 10th time in a season. The mascot dance-off, as you see here, was a fun, silly street performance in September of 2025 during a time where our vendors often cite a dip in sales. This was an effort that we brought college students to downtown. We brought Dubuque Fighting Saints players to our farmers market and created a spur-of-the-moment special experience that, as you can see in these photos, people filmed, shared, and recorded to add on their social media page and to continue to bring attention to our farmers market in a slower season. Looking ahead, we are incredibly excited for the 2026 season. It's coming right up in May 2nd. We have identified and secured new revenue streams to allow us to build on the successes that we saw last year. This includes a sponsorship from Farm Bureau Financial Services, as well as an expansion of our merchandise sales through a growing partnership with 1-800-T-Shirts. We will continue to make the Dubuque Farmers Market the centerpiece of our annual DRA grant application to continue to build our array of amenities for our guests. And we plan to increase the marketing reach through in-house content creation to meet the rising needs of vendors as requested through our annual vendor feedback survey at the end of the year. Moving on to Dubuque and all that jazz. Perhaps the most monumental improvement in our programming in 2025 was the revival of a downtown tradition with 30 years of history in Dubuque and all that jazz. We reduced the number of events from 3 to 1 for each summer. So previously it was June, July, and August. And this year we just focused on June to make one big show. We turned a $5,000 loss through 3 events in 2024 to a $15,000 gain in 2025. And we did this by reestablishing our focus on local music as the primary driver for attendance. We started the night with a massive performance from the Roosevelt Middle School Jazz Band, led by band director Stacy Amison, seen here. It was 54 students that made the perfect opening act. At 5 o'clock at the beginning of our event, we immediately had a packed crowd full of families, friends, and curious passerbys. We also got back to our roots and welcomed back the business, which was a favorite from Jazz's past that played songs that everyone knows. And as far as I've seen, nothing quite gets people dancing in the Town Clock Plaza like an Earth, Wind, and Fire cover. And a new addition, we were headlined by a quickly rising local jazz band in the DZ Combo. However, in order to make this set a wholly unique experience, we tasked the combo with inviting 3 supporting acts from our community: guest vocalist Leslie Shalaby, guest drummer Darren Nelson, and local rapper Stefan Woolley Baldwin. And it became something that you cannot find anywhere else in Dubuque. And it provided an opportunity to build something with the potential for a regional draw in an event that has historically just been a local celebration. In 2026, we plan to do exactly that. We are welcoming back the DZ Combo as our headliner with an ever-growing cast of supporting acts, creating a single show in the heart of our downtown where someone from inside or outside our community can get a glimpse into the vast array of talent that we have, that our community has to offer. Moving on, we have Putzin around downtown. Another downtown staple with decades of history in downtown. It's a mini golf business bar crawl, complete with costumes and an always changing theme. This event is a key fundraiser for our organization, and in 2025, we saw it reach modest new heights. We had 45 teams registered, which is around on average. I think we typically cap out around 50. But we raised almost $13,000 in funds for our organization, which is by a small margin the best fundraiser that we've had through that event in our history. And most notably, we had an 84.2% player retention rate. So those are people who have come to Putzin before and are coming back for a second time, which I'll get to in a moment here, is much improved based on our averages. While we saw some successes with Putzin in 2025, we know that there's still significant room to grow. And as a tradition since 2002, we know it's something worth investing in. Almost 1,300 players have played in Putzin since 2002, but where it gets interesting is 60% of all recorded players join for 1 year and they never return. So for every 10 new players we recruit to go to Putzin, only 4 ever come back another year. We see this as a key problem that we want to solve to continue to grow this event. And with such fragile retention, how has this event stood the test of time? It's because of the legacies of the Putzin legends, we call them. 84 players on record have attended for 5+ years. 11 players have attended for 10+ years. This event is supported by a loyal cast of whole sponsors and teams that come in year after year. And so our goals are informed by that loyalty to embrace this like long tradition of Putson as a key fundraiser. We want to improve player retention by improving player experience. We want to reduce navigational friction, making it easier to travel from business to business. And we need to raise the bar for production value because events like Putson or even Jazz in the farmers market are competing not only with other downtown events, they're competing with staying home, watching Netflix, doom scrolling on your phone, and playing video games, and that's a high bar. We really treat that as a serious competitor to coming downtown. So the production value, the experience, the player experience is the utmost priority to keep this thing going. So we've designed some creative solutions to overcome these more complex obstacles. New in 2026, the Golden Putter Traveling Trophy. It is for best hole design, rather. It incentivizes great hole builds for participating sponsors and embraces the legacy of each event and honoring its most staunch supporters in getting engraved year after year and moving to each venue for the year that they win. That is being fabricated by local metal artist Jimmy Cole, who's done some work in Art on the River. And we've developed the Putson Pocket Caddy. It's a web application for mobile devices. Give up the pen and paper and use your phone to track your scores, navigate to each hole, and upload your team photo to participate in the costume contest, where we've built a user interface where players will either swipe right or swipe left on the hole design or costume design that they think is worthy of the winning title, of the $250 prize. We've reduced the event boundaries, doing away with long walks between venues. And most of all, we've got a growing committee of volunteers to help support this event, namely UMB Bank, Lane Madsen State Farm, Lovell & Co., and Keller Williams Legacy Group. Moving on, we have Architecture Days. This is another long-standing event with a strong core of support, which is a common theme with Dubuque Main Street. We bring guests through a week of tours, through our architectural history throughout downtown. We saw about 40 to 50 people at each of our tours, and in 2025, we were able to maintain this performance while we plan for future development and future growth and opportunities through this event. Food Festival Fridays. It's food trucks for lunch on a Friday at Washington Park. It's a fairly straightforward event, but we were able to take a few steps forward in improving it in 2025. We deployed the seating amenities that we got through the DRA core grant that we used at the farmers market into Washington Park, and we leaned on in-house marketing through social media, which reduces the operational overhead without sacrificing attendance. We were able to reduce our marketing costs and continue to meet the increasing needs for attendance and adoption downtown. And getting to our services. So you learned about our programming. That's how we activate downtown. That's how we fundraise for our organization. And that comes down, and that goes to our services, how we support downtown. Two key pillars right now: grant administration and digital media support. I'll walk you through grant administration. This is how it works. Main Street receives funding through a combination of government agencies and in-house fundraising efforts. Main Street markets and advocates for downtown stakeholders to apply for these grants. We educate them on what they need to do to deliver on these grants and apply and meet our expectations. Main Street Grants Committee reviews applications and scores accordingly. And then we fund projects that support private investment and open the door for the next great downtown idea. We transform uninhabitable spaces into ones that are ready for economic activity. And in 2026, we have built a custom grants portal into our website, and with a committee review function to directly into our website, adding a professional polish and reducing administrative overhead. So going away with the Google Forms, and it's built into our website now. And the impact of those grants. I'll focus in on two of our grant programs to be specific, because I think these really lean into the narrative that the impact of our grant programs. The SWAP grant. In 2023, we got $130,000 from Dubuque County, which helped fund an estimated $4.6 million in private investment. It was 13 projects funded with $10,000 grants. This is anything from upper story housing developments on Central Avenue, interior build-out costs for River City Hair Co. on Central Avenue, or a new kitchen for Las Margaritas on Main Street. And also, as an accredited Main Street organization, we're eligible for state funding through Main Street, Iowa, and the Iowa Economic Development Authority, specifically, or most notably, through the Challenge Grant. That's kind of the big one every year. Since this program began in 2002, we have received nearly $1 million in state funding that would not have otherwise been possible without our Main Street organization. And impressive to me, we see nearly a 75% acceptance rate on our Challenge Grant applications. So every time we apply for one project per year, 70% chance that we're getting that funding. And new to our organization in 2025 was a digital media support pilot program. Because while our organization has great value in our event programming and grant administration, we lacked a service that could be applied to anyone within our district, yet still offer this tangible support for their downtown endeavor. So here's how it works. A downtown business, event, or nonprofit books a photographer at dubuquemainstreet.org/booking. DMS photographer captures professional quality content at little or no cost to the clients. And clients receive their photos with full rights, full use to use in their own social media, website, marketing needs. And Dubuque Main Street posts that content on our social media pages to raise awareness of the amazing things happening downtown. This drives customers to new businesses. This provides new and existing events, marketing collateral to build excitement for next year and recruit additional sponsorship while ensuring that they continue to run a tight budget as well. And it provides immense support to our social media pages by increasing our reach, building our audience for our continued development and emphasis of in-house marketing capacity. And we feel we've proven the model. Last year, 2025, we supported 40 businesses and organizations with this program. We captured photos at 27 events. And we really have felt through piloting this program that this service is vital because we don't feel that downtown is fully capitalized on the potential of the internet and social media as a communication platform to raise awareness of the great things happening downtown. And Main Street is able to produce content for those who need it most at a high level with minimal production costs. Many businesses have enough of an obstacle building their customer experience, and a proficiency in social media marketing and content creation is not always made to be a priority. But in 2025 and beyond, it is our opinion that it is an essential tool to drive traffic for any downtown business. And even better, it's had a profound impact on our organization as well. Because by prioritizing in-house marketing, we have increased our reach considerably, reduced our expenses associated with marketing, and offered a new service to our community at no additional cost to the taxpayer. Our strongest platform in Facebook reached over 250,000 unique users in 2025, which is a 37% increase over 2024. And that's in line with some of our contemporaries, such as Travel Dubuque, who are among the best in town. Which brings us back to this, $96,211. For this investment, you get an economic impact that provides a clear return, farmers market token sales supporting our vendors, $103,000 average every year, grant administration transforming our downtowns, transforming our storefronts and inspiring private investment, digital media support driving foot traffic to downtown businesses. But you also get this intangible cultural return as well. The feeling a Roosevelt middle schooler gets when performing at All That Jazz. The feeling a new farmer's market vendor gets when they take a chance on their idea and sales start rolling in. Or the feeling a new member of a corporate Putzin team gets when they start connecting with the people and places in their community. And getting into our budget. This is where you get to see the stewardship of your tax dollars at work. And we have a lot to be proud of this year. In these two columns, you'll see a comparison between fiscal year 25 and fiscal year 26 actuals. But it's important to keep in mind that we are just on the cusp of our primary revenue generators for our fiscal year. That's farmers market signups, that's Putzin, that's Jazz. So you see at the bottom, our budgeted income is $467,853. Moving on to our expenses. The real test of our organization has been the work we have done in reducing our operational overhead, marketing spending, and event expenses. In 1 year, we have transformed the financial stability of our organization, going from a $22,000 net loss in fiscal year 25 to a projected $56,000 net gain projected in fiscal year 26. That's $56,000 that we get to reinvest in improving our programming and funding our public services, scaling our impact. And some notes on analysis. Our programming costs have been down dramatically, but results are up. Special events expenses reduced from $73,000 to about $44,000. This is choices like moving jazz events from 3 events to 1. It's reducing marketing budgets per event and embracing our in-house capacity to do that work ourselves. Development and promotional spending is down, with focusing on in-house marketing efforts and just reducing a little bit of administrative waste. Big impact. Our staffing is leaner, but our organization is stronger. So we went from 3 full-time staff to 2 without sacrificing the deliverables of our organization. And this is a testament to our staff, which is myself and my operations manager, Laura Burchins. To do this kind of work for our community is not driven by a big paycheck. It's very much a labor of love. We have a high bar of expectations for ourselves, and we feel that that's the responsibility that we take on as a partially taxpayer-funded organization. And finally, that's more money going to our mission, less to our overhead. In order to deliver these services and programs to our community, we're doing so with significant reduction to our operations, reducing 30% in overhead cost while improving the quality of our events and the impact they have on our organization and our community. And so we feel this approach proves the responsible stewardship of any level of city investment, which is why this year, you guys have some difficult decisions ahead of you when considering our budget, and we are competent and we're comfortable with maintaining our current level of support at $96,211. If you were to feel our organization is worthy of an increased level of support, we would request that funding is directed towards our grant programs, swap grant programs, rather than purely operational support. I'm happy to take any questions.
Well, Mr. Barber, thank you very much. Before I take any quick questions, I was hoping that you could introduce your support staff.
Yes, absolutely.
In the back, please.
Laura Burchins, my operations manager. We have my board president, Creed Welchley from Cottingham and Butler, vice president, Terry Mosina from Mosina Realty, economic development director, Jill Connors on our executive committee, and police chief Jensen, who isn't associated with our organization, but
he does help out in a way, doesn't he? Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
There's a lot there, but I would we do have maybe a couple minutes for any kind of questions or comments. Ms. Roussel.
Thank you. Well, first of all, David, don't forget me. I'm on the board too.
Yes, please.
And I am very proud to be a part of the board. I am really pleased with the level of efficiency and the way you have used the technology to make us more efficient while reducing our expenses. I especially like the Putson app, things like that, where technology can make, everybody lives with their phone, and I think people are really going to like that. I just appreciate all the new ways that you have come up with to help us support our downtown businesses, and I look forward to continuing to be part of this great organization. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to comment or have a question? It was, before I stop, I'm going to ask Mr. Staver if you would like a
Well, I was just going to say, I love it. I love everything you guys are doing. I love the sense of pride it seems like you have in reducing the costs and showing a positive bottom line. I can see the pride beaming off of you. I think that's important to know that, you're doing great things and you're competent. That kind of speaks to it. And to me, all these events are really the culture of Dubuque, and for a long time. And I think it's great, man. I'm proud to be, I'm part of it. I'm proud to be part of it as well. And I'm excited. And thank you very much, everyone.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Ms. Bethel?
I just wanted to make a comment on the changes that you and the organization and everyone involved made this summer to the benches and the kind of placemaking at our farmers market. I was this past summer at a large city farmers market, and it didn't hold a candle to us. You guys, it's fantastic. And for some reason, I think I never realized how important the seating space is for people to really bring families and sit and eat and, just greet each other. And community building is so important. So that in addition to all you do, but I think that was really a big step. And then, like you said, then activating those to Food Truck Fridays and creating that space for people to gather. We know that creating that experience for newer people to our community helps to bring them in and feel that they're part of something. So keep doing the great work, and congratulations on a great year.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Mayor Kavanaugh, do you have something you'd like to say?
The only thing I would say is thank you very much for this presentation. It was great to see all these details laid out in this way, but thank you very much for being here, David and team.
Yes, thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you for coming and supporting tonight the downtown, the Dubuque Main Street. So there being no further business, we stand adjourned until the regular session.